Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss a new topic, that is Gauss law in electrostatics. So before moving to the topic, we there are few important terms that you should know. First one is area vector. Now in general case we treat area as a scalar quantity, but now here we have to consider it as a vector quantity, and in your order to modify it in a vector quantity, it is very important to provide the direction to the area. So for that, what we do, we actually giving the direction to the area by drawing a unit vector perpendicular to the surface. This is how we can consider it as a vector, area vector. Let me show you how. If we are working in a 2D objects, like we have this rectangle considered in a x, y and z plane. So if you consider this area, so before we can calculate the area by length into breadth. This is the magnitude. In order to provide the direction, we have what we have to do, we have to just draw the unit vector perpendicularly above and below to the surface of this area. So it could be plus k vector or minus k vector, because you know k vector is the direction that is the vector that gives the direction in the z direction. So plus k means plus z direction, minus k vector means minus z direction, that is in the downward direction. So both the directions are correct. There is no you can either write it as plus z, either write it as minus z. So if we move to the 3D, this is the case for the 2D objects, but when we are considering or we are dealing with the 3D objects, that is the closed surfaces जिन्हें बोला जाता है. So we know the only direction in which you can draw the unit vector is the outward direction. So as it is shown here in this, we have this full solid cube. So the only direction in which you can make this direction of the area vector is the outward direction. This is a vector, it is also a vector, that is all the six faces that are in the outside only there you can consider this area vector. So only outward normal is considered as area vector A. So this is the case for the 3D object, जिसमें हम बीच में नहीं जाएंगे, हम आउटवर्ड एरिया लेंगे, जो है वहीं आउटवर्ड पे ही हम डायरेक्शन को शो करेंगे. So next जो concept आता है that you should know is of electric flux. What is electric flux? Electric flux is the number of electric field lines passing perpendicular to a plane surface. If we consider a plane surface, then the number of lines passing or crossing that area perpendicularly gives the amount of the electric flux. Electric flux also depicts the strength of the electric field. Now if we consider this case, you will observe that only two lines are crossing perpendicular to this area. So you can say that the value of flux is 2. Now if we increase the intensity of the electric field, means more intensity means more lines will pass through the area. So means your flux will increase. Now if you count the lines that are passing perpendicular to this area is 1, 2, 3, 4. You can say that your flux has been increased by 2 and it is now 4. Similarly, so if we increase the area through which the lines are passing, है ना, तो then also more line will cross through that area. So in that way also flux also increase. So if you observe carefully, you will find that the flux is increasing by increasing the strength of the electric field, that is more line will pass, or secondly by increasing the area or the portion through which you have to pass the electric field lines. If you are increasing that area, your electric flux will also increase. So by these two ways you can increase your electric flux. So this is the concept of the electric flux that you should know. So if we talk about mathematically, the expression of the electric flux is given by E dot A, that is the dot product between the electric field and the area vector. And as we have this dot product, so opening this, we'll have the expression phi is equals to E A cos theta, that is cos of the angle between the electric field and the area vector. So if we consider an example, we have this surface, see, an electric field vector is crossing through this area is like this, and we have a area vector A passing out from this surface, giving the direction to the surface. So if we consider if we resolve this E into component, that is first one is E cos theta and second is E sin theta. So for the flux, if we want to calculate the flux, so we have to take that vector which is along the area, we have to take that component of the electric field which is along the area vector, that is E A cos theta, this one. So that is why which will give the flux. And the SI unit of flux is given by the Newton meter square per coulomb. And third one is the theta is the angle between the electric field E and the area vector A. As we have seen clearly here ki theta is the angle between the electric field and that of the area vector of this surface. So this is all about our flux. So we have the final expression that you need to remember is that is phi is equals to EA cos theta. So finally we move to our topic, which is Gauss law. So what is Gauss law? Gauss law क्या कहता है? The net electric flux through a closed surface. If you are considering any closed surface, that is 3D surface, then net electric flux through that surface is 1 upon epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed by that surface. So phi enclosed is equals to Q net upon epsilon naught. और इसे हम कैसे लिख सकते हैं? फर्दर phi को कैसे लिख सकते हैं हम? E dot dA. We have just studied the expression of electrical flux, so that we are using here. So this is the net expression for the electric flux, which is given by the Gauss law. So now there are some points that we need to put in light. That is, the size of the closed surface does not affect the net flux. It depends upon the net charge inside it. So it actually doesn't depend upon the size of the closed surface, whether it is small, whether it is big. It only depends upon the amount of charge enclosed in that surface, no matter whether your size of the area is small. But if more charge is enclosed in that, then your electric flux will be more, because it actually depends upon the amount of charge enclosed in that area, not on the dimension of the area. So if we consider the case here, if you want to calculate the flux through this area, so their flux will be is equal to 0. Why it is so? Because there is no net charge enclosed in this surface. No charge means no flux. If charge is equals to 0, then flux will also be equals to 0. Similarly, if we are considering the example of an electric dipole, as you all know, electric dipole, what is electric dipole? Electric dipole is a setup in which equal and opposite charges are separated by some distance. So if we see that the net charge inside the surface for an electric dipole is always equals to 0. No charge, hence no electric field. Similarly also for an electric dipole we have flux is equals to 0, as we have in this case. So next, which is very important, is this Gauss law is actually applicable in various fields, in various situations where we have to calculate the electric field intensity. So first application of the Gauss law is to calculate the electric field due to a thin, infinite, long, uniformly charged wire. So we will what we have studied till now is the Gauss law, statement of the Gauss law. What Gauss law says, the net flux through any closed surface is equals to the net charge and 1 upon epsilon naught times the charge enclosed by that surface. So that we will apply here to find the electric field intensity due to different systems. So first system that is under our consideration is a long infinite charge wire. So we have this long infinite charge wire in which this wire is extended up to infinity, that is minus infinity, and here up to plus infinity, and the charge is uniformly distributed over this wire. So but we have to calculate the electric field intensity at a certain point at a distance r from this wire. So we know that for that what we have to do, we will consider a Gaussian surface. So Gaussian surface in this case will be a cylinder. This is cylindrical surface is showing the Gaussian surface, with the help of which we will calculate the electric field intensity due to this infinite charged wire. So due to this positive charge, you all know that due to the positive charge, electric field is always directing away from it, directing outward. So similarly we have shown the electric field outward or away from this charged wire. So so let us take an Gaussian surface at a distance r from this wire, which is a cylinder, which comprising of mainly three surfaces. First one is the upper surface, second one is the downward surface, and third is the curved surface of the cylinder. So also we have to consider the lambda. Lambda is where L is the length of this cylinder, and where we have to consider the charge per unit length, that is linear charge density. We have considered here is a linear charge density. which is equals to charge upon length. So by Gauss law, we have the expression that is the phi e due to this slender is equals to q naught time 1 upon epsilon naught time the charge enclosed by this slender, which is further equals to E dot dA. तो phi of slender किसके बराबर होगा? Because we have three surface in the slender. Phi 1 for by upward surface, phi 2 is because of the second downward surface, and phi 3 is because of the curved surface of the slender. So if you elaborate, you know that phi is equals to E dot dA. So E dot dA, or you can say that E dA cos of theta, where theta is the angle between the electric field and the area vector. So if you consider the first portion, that is portion 1 of this slender Gaussian surface, you will observe that the direction of the electric field is like this, and the angle between this area vector dA, which is directing outward, and that of the electric field is 90 degree, and we know that, so expression would be like this: E dot dA cos of 90 degree, and you all know that the cos 90 degree is equals to 0, so eventually your phi 1 will comes out to be 0. Similarly here also, if you consider the phi 2, here also if we showing the direction, it will always be in the downward direction. जो area vector की हम direction यहाँ show कर रहे हैं, it is in the downward direction. जैसे कि मैंने आपको एरिया वेक्टर की जो डायरेक्शन है वो बताई थी, हाउ टू शो द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द एरिया वेक्टर. इट वाज विल डायरेक्टिंग अवे फ्रॉम आउटवर्ड टू द surface. See, so in the downward direction also it is the similar case as that of the first one. So here also you will get 0. Phi 2 will also comes out to be 0. Now the final, which is which we need to calculate, is the curved surface area. So if you consider here the curved surface area, you will find that your electric field is directing towards away, outward direction. Similarly, your Gaussian slender is also directed in the same, your area vector is also towards the same direction. So we can say that the angle between the electric field and that of the area vector is 0 degree. So you can say that E dot dA or E dA cos 0 degree. Cos 0 degree means 1. So E dot dA, it comes out to be like this. So you finally, that expression for phi is E इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ डी ए. एंड यू नो फाई क्या होता है हमारा? क्यू नॉट 1 अपॉन एप्सिलॉन नॉट टाइम द चार्ज क्यू enclosed in that Gaussian slender, which is equals to E cross 2 pi RL. Again, taking E one side and rearranging this expression, you will come to the expression here, Q upon 2 pi RL to epsilon naught. Now we know what we have studied in the earlier is the expression for the linear charge density, which is equals to the sigma is equals to Q upon length. This linear charge density give the strength of the charge that is present linearly on that wire. So from this expression we can extract the expression for Q, and it comes out to be lambda L upon 2 pi RL into epsilon naught, cancelling L from L. So finally we'll have this expression. So from this expression we what we consider is that electric field is inversely related to the distance r. So as we are increasing this distance r as we are going away from our uniformly charged wire, you will observe that your electric field intensity goes on decreasing. So it is a graph between the distance r and that of the intensity of electric field. It is decreasing inversely. There is an inverse relation between those. So hence this is the electric field intensity due to a uniformly charged wire. So we have some hope you like the video and you understand the concept well. We have some more application based on the same Gauss law, which we will cover in the next video. The Gauss law, applications of Gauss law part 2, where we have to study the Gauss law, applications of the Gauss law, that is the electric field intensity due to cylinders, due to spheres, or in the infinite thin sheet having charged wire. So hope you like